Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I am Oboh Emmanuel, the Decordwainer, and this channel is all about helping SLT students, microbiology students write better projects, helping them with their projects and helping them with their seminar or publications and whatnot, whatever concerns writing in SLT or microbiology. This is your channel to go to. So let's get to it. Today we're talking about seminar writing for SLT students. The seminar paper is usually the paper you write before your projects for most of us in SLT. Yes, that's what we do. We write seminar paper before the project. So, and this video is all about seminar writing, the tips and tricks. So before we go on, please subscribe to the channel, support your boy, subscribe to the channel, and please like the video and drop comments if you get anything from this video. So let's get down to it. Now, what are we to expect in this video? I'm going to give a simple definition to a seminar paper. Then we're going to go down to tips of writing a good seminar paper and the overall structure of a seminar paper. Now, what is a seminar paper? Now, a seminar paper is a narrative review of different research on a particular topic. This is not a standard definition, but this is how I've defined it. Now, it's like a literary review, a seminar review, a narrative review of different research on a particular topic. Now, you're going back, reviewing in the sense that you're going back to what other people have written on a particular topic that you're interested in and summarizing them. Now, the goal here is to bring lots of papers together, lots of different research papers together on a particular topic or relating to the topic, on a particular topic or relating to the topic you want to write on and compile them into one paper, just one paper. It might sound all complex, but it's actually very simple if you follow the tips and tricks I'm going to share in this video. Now, let's get to the next thing. The tips of writing a good seminar paper. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is you have to search, and search. If you search and search and search again, now you go online, use Google. Google is our, yes, Google is Google. Google is there. You use Google, you use PubMed. Every single file you want to search for relating to your topic, go around, search and search. I'm going to share a video on how to search for materials online for your particular topic or topic related to your project, to your topic. Different materials online you can find on it. And the next thing to do is to narrow it down, break it down. Now, let me cite an example. While I was in school, I was given to write a seminar topic on Kaposi sarcoma. Went online, looked for Kaposi sarcoma, and figured out, Kaposi sarcoma is a type of cancer that affects people that are immune compromised. People that are immune compromised, people that are with autoimmune disease, people with HIV, old people, we have children who also have low immune system. But that's a really wide topic. How am I going to write about Kaposi sarcoma for these 6 people? So I decided to break it down to HIV students, HIV patients. To HIV patients. So I narrowed down the topic Kaposi sarcoma in HIV patients. People living with HIV. That was the topic. That was what I focused on. Now, the next thing to focus on is to follow the writing process. The writing process is a different ball game, but I'm going to share coming videos on writing process when it concerns SLT or microbiology projects. I'm going to share writing process, but let me just give a brief of what writing process means. Writing process has 3 steps: the pre-writing stage, the writing stage, and the revision stage. In the pre-writing stage, this is the stage you gather everything, take notes, pick points you want to pick, gather your references, gather your citations as you're picking the points. And the next thing to do is to write all what you have gathered and bring them into a story that will be narrative and not boring to read. Then the next thing is to revise what you've written so you can make adjustments or make corrections where you made any mistakes. And the next thing to do is to divide them into different sections. Now, dividing into sections is very important because it gives you a perfect flow of your work. It doesn't make your work look boring. It doesn't make your work look bulky. It doesn't make it boring to your lecturer. Most times it looks all compounded to your lecturer, and when you submit it, it's all big and bulky to his face, dividing them into sections. So having a goal in your mind will help you divide them into sections. When I wrote my paper for HIV patients, I didn't just start writing stories about how it affects HIV patients. I gave a brief introduction in the introductory aspect, then broke them down into epidemiology, into the causes, into the signs, into symptoms, into signs and symptoms, then into the treatment, then prevention. So that was how I broke down this into different sections. Now, the next thing to do is to use tables where necessary. Use tables when necessary. It's very, very important to use tables when necessary. In my paper, there were different symptoms, different signs and symptoms depending on the particular characteristics, and I could not I could not write everything because it was going to be too much. So I had to bring them into a table. I put them into a table, so it was very simple and straightforward to read. Once the reader saw it, it was okay. Yes, this is good. This is what I'm looking for, and it was straightforward. So use tables, use charts, use figures where necessary. So if you find a particular on your topic, you find a particular table, a particular chart that is necessary, that is very important to read, you have to what, use it. So let's get down to the next thing. We're going to look at the overall structure of a seminar paper. The overall structure of a seminar paper. The first thing to write in a seminar paper is what, the abstract. But the first thing you see is the abstract. But that's the last thing to write. The first thing you see is the abstract, but that's the last thing to write, because the abstract contains every single detail, a summary of your summary. Yeah, that's how to put it. The abstract is a summary of your summary. So the summary of what is written in the whole body of the work is what's contained in your abstract. The next thing to go for is the introduction. Now, the introductory aspect contains a brief story, a brief history, a brief background of the topic, but must usually end with the aim of the review. It must end with the aim of the seminar paper. For example, when I wrote my paper on Kaposi sarcoma, I talked about Kaposi sarcoma in other patients, then brought it down to HIV patients. Then at the end of the introduction, I said this paper gives a review. This paper gives a review, or the aim of this paper is to give a review of the causes, symptoms, treatment and prevention of Kaposi sarcoma in HIV patients. That was it. And that was the brief of my introduction. So you must always end your introduction with the aim of this paper when it comes to writing a seminar paper. The next thing is to go to the body of the work. In the body of the work, the same thing happens. You have to divide them into sections. Like I said earlier, divide your body into sections. So like I said, I wrote after writing the introduction and giving the aim introduction, the next heading was the epidemiology. Discussing epidemiology in HIV patients, not epidemiology all around generally, but epidemiology in HIV patients. Then went down to the causes of Kaposi sarcoma in HIV patients, then to the symptoms, where I drew my tables and charts, then the down to the causes, down to the treatment and prevention, and that was it. You have to break the body into sections, break it into sections so to be easier, there will be a flow and it should not be boring to read. It's very, very important that your seminar is not boring or bulky to read. I know in academics, you're not supposed to write in an interesting way, but scientific papers can be interesting if they don't look all bulky and all choked up together. The next thing is the conclusion. Now, after getting these reviews and all, what can you conclude? And what can you recommend? Now, your conclusion will also contain your recommendation. For some schools, they might actually separate the conclusion and recommendation in the seminar paper. But for some, just go ahead and conclude your paper the way it is. And that is it.